25-year-old San Diego, California native Barry Zito winning this showdown game 5 through the front 5 against Pedro Martinez. 1-0. Each pitcher has allowed a pair of base hits. Zito has struck out 3, walked 1.
I think Zito was relaxed coming into this ball game. We saw him walk into the stadium wearing a pair of jeans, a big beanie cap pulled down over a pair of sunglasses, flip-flops. Looked more like Keanu Reeves coming into the yard.
He really is a very interesting young man. He's extremely bright. Much is made of the clothes that he wears, and certainly the numbers he puts up are staggering. But he is one focused guy when it comes to doing his job.
You know what he is? He's what a lot of us would love to be. He's very much so himself, very much so an individual. People talk about him being zany and off the wall. I think that nothing's further than the truth.
I couldn't agree with you more. You know, the story has been told many times about his father, a composer for Nat King Cole, worked with musicians like Frank Sinatra and Sammy Davis Jr., managed many musical careers, and really knew what it took to mold a champion. His mother, a backup singer for Nat King Cole in their strike. And his uncle, Patrick Duffy, played Bobby Ewing on the legendary TV program Dallas. But he grew up in a very creative environment.
Yes, he did.
And he's mighty creative out on that mound. 3-2. Launched into left field. We may have a tie game. We do have a tie game. Varitek, his second home run of the series. So just like that, we begin anew. Series tied, game tied. Rolled over foul by Damon. 0-2.
Yeah, talking to a lot of those guys down there with their hair all cut off. You notice Damon. They said Damon didn't do it because his hair is too pretty. He's been working on it for a long time, trying to get the mullet back. And Garcia Parra is getting married in about a month, and he didn't want to look ugly.
So none other than arguably the greatest women's soccer player ever out of the University of North Carolina, Mia Hamm.
And unfortunately for the women's team, now eliminated from World Cup action.
Pulled foul.
There is Nomar.
Well, good Lord willing, they have some offspring. I would certainly like their chances of being a pretty fair athlete.
Think they might be good?
Not bad. Breaking ball low and away. 2-2 to Damon.
Well, that might happen sooner or later. I believe Mia Hamm has said that will be her last World Cup competition. May think about settling right down and having a family.
Foul out of play by Damon. Will do it again at 2 balls and 2 strikes. Damon 1 of 2 in the game. Glide out to left in the first. Singled up the middle in the 4th inning. Stole second base. 6 of 19 in the series. Breaking ball bounces up there. 3-2. Pretty good at bat right here by Johnny Damon after the Varitek game tying home run to begin this 6th inning. And you can mark it down. If Damon finds a way to get on base, he will be running early and often.
First player in Red Sox history since 1914 to have back-to-back 30-steal seasons. That is amazing.
He has reached base. So, gentlemen, start your engine.
You have to be able to take what someone's willing to give you as an opponent, and if that is the ability to just to manufacture a run, you got to take it.
Swinging a foul ball off the end of the bat, out of play by Garcia Parra. Damon not running on the first pitch. He got a terrible jump when he stole second base in the 4th inning. The pitch was up and in to Garcia Parra, and Ramon Hernandez couldn't find the grip on the ball, never threw it down to second. And you can tell Damon is not comfortable getting a read on that Barry Zito either move to first or delivery to the plate.
Not very many guys are. Zito is very quick to the plate. Does not have a great move, but doesn't have to. Slide steps and doesn't kick very high with that leg and delivers the ball to home very quickly.
Maybe he's so concerned with Damon over there that he's quick pitching Garcia Parra to some extent. He's fallen behind 2-1. Nomar outstanding postseason numbers. Two-1. Popped up. Foul territory, and there's plenty of it here in Oakland. And room over there for Hannibal. Todd Walker throw over to first.
Yeah, Baby Ruth.
Breaking ball again, bounces up there.
This crowd, Tommy, may have been making more noise now after Zito got in trouble than they did before in between innings.
Well, there are certainly not an overly significant number, but there are Boston fans in attendance.
Tons of them. No matter where Boston goes, a little bit like following the Cubs.
Saw double barrel action in the Oakland bullpen. That one swung on and fouled out of play, third base side.
There's no question the A's fans are ready to take on the New York Yankees. In between innings, Derek Jeter was giving a public service announcement to stay away from drugs, and the fans booed him when he came on the screen.
Breaking ball away. Much better at bats in this inning. Zito not throwing nearly as many strikes. John Halama and Chad Harville continue to throw in the Oakland bullpen.
That's what we have overhead.
Well, you know, they're watching back in Beantown in huge numbers for this game 5. And Walker hit on the right shoulder. So Ramirez, Ortiz, Millar, and Miller collectively 2 RBI. 1-1 game, 2 on, 1 out. And there is a first pitch breaking ball, but again, Zito for the first time not throwing strikes with that breaking ball.
Out of the stretch. Clearly not as comfortable throwing out of the stretch. He has such an easy, fluid motion through his windup. There's the breaking ball bouncing. That's the breaking ball he'll throw when he has 2 strikes. Not the one he wants to throw in order to get a called strike.
Damon and Walker aboard. Check swing. Did he go? They appeal. Yes, sir, says Greg Gibson.
First base coach Dallas Williams all over Gibson after calling that pitch. That was pretty close, Tommy. Didn't look like an offering.
The Jillians are saying, "Ah, you bum." Ramirez during the regular season with runners in scoring position hit .338. Swing and a miss. But he has not knocked in a single run in this division series.
I mean, this guy is a tremendously smart hitter, one of the best hitters in the game, especially with his intelligence. And Zito has had him looking bad. His last at-bat, maybe one of the worst at-bats I've ever seen him have. And this one here, he's got him totally baffled.
2 on, 1 out. Breaking ball. Down and in on Manny Ramirez to even a count.
Ramirez drove in 165 runs in 1999 with the Cleveland Indians. He's had 8 out of the last 9 seasons. He's driven in 100 or more. He is an RBI and hitting machine.
Yeah, well, Steve, for my money, he is the best run-producing offensive player in the game today.
Now, the Red Sox went out and paid him tons of money to come to this organization to do just that. That's the man that's produced the run in this ballgame for the Red Sox so far.
But you know what? Regular season's one thing. Postseason's a whole new ballgame.
Got that right.
And Manny lifts one into deep left center field. Guillen back at the wall. Goodbye. And Ramirez walking to first base and pointing to his teammates.
Manny Ramirez here saying, let's start a new postseason tradition with that home run. That's what they're used to seeing out of him.
It's the top of the 6th inning. You've had a grand total of 3 hits in the whole series, and you got to do this.
Ramirez is showing his emotion of getting back into being the hitter that he is, but this is a bad thing to do. You do not need to wake up the bench of the Oakland A's, and you don't want to get any of your other players hurt in this game by making someone on that other team mad at you. And that would do it for me. That is a huge bomb in the playoffs. They will let you run around the bases and put your fist in the air and shake it and say, yes, we just did something good. They still don't want you walking down the first baseline and having you not even be halfway to first base by the time the ball gets out of the ballpark. Not a smart move.
You know, it's that old adage about when you get into the end zone, act like you've been there before. Manny's been there before.
Plenty.
Ortiz is swinging a miss, and he's gone on strike. It's one of the few things about the game, Steve, that it's a great game. It's the best game of all games. Well, boy, there are some things that take place, and it's occurring more and more frequently during the regular season. Guys hitting home runs, standing there watching them. Not good.
Just no real place for it in the game. Players talk about showing each other up.
.35 pitches now this inning for Barry Zito. A batter would go batty if every time a pitcher struck a batter out, they started walking down towards home plate and pointed in their own dugout, not the opposing dugout. You'd hear plenty about it from batters all over the league.
I will say that I think this is more out of emotion for him doing something finally in this series.